Yeah, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Every day in the live stream is an adventure. I was struggling to get the chat window to come out properly in the live stream. I don't know. Something changes, so we learn every day. So good morning. I'm your host Raj. This is ShareTreck, and here is your market outlook for Tuesday, October the 14th. And I think that the market is behaving like a yo-yo. I don't know if many of you remember there used to be a toy which could just be pushed forward to the ground and then pulled back. It had an elastic, and we used to call it the yo-yo. That's what it's doing. We saw a classic case of one step forward, two steps back for investors overnight, as the powerful market rally we enjoyed yesterday quickly gave way to fresh global jitters in today's pre-market session. And while I was writing this script, I saw the market recover again after having dipped further. Even though we are still in the negative in the futures, it is substantially more improved than where it was when I started writing the script for today's session. So I think yesterday's recovery happened because the US markets first took a decisive step to claw back the massive losses we saw Friday. The rally was fueled by a simple piece of news. President Trump appeared to soften his trade rhetoric over the weekend, hinting that the tariff threats on China will be fine. This optimism sent the major indices surging. Now, there is a particular writer whom I subscribe to in the Substack. And I think what I read this morning from him was basically that Trump has a lot of net worth tied to Trump coin and crypto. So when crypto goes down, he personally faces a lot of loss, and that makes him to recalibrate. However, as I mentioned, I was looking at the Chinese newspapers. The first 2 days were confrontational, and yesterday there was no news about the spat between China and US about the 100% extra tariff from Trump. But overnight, we had news that China was taking it more seriously. So that's the reason why things started moving around. In fact, the only major disappointment yesterday was industrial supplier Fastenal, FAST, whose share fell around 7% after the company missed third quarter earning expectation. That miss was a sobering reminder that parts of the manufacturing economy are clearly still slowing down. And as far as today's setback is concerned, futures are pointing lower now, and that enthusiasm from yesterday has evaporated. Trade anxiety has resurfaced, with Wall Street futures pointing lower this morning. The question is, why the sudden reversal? It's a classic market reaction to uncertainty. With President Trump still threatening those massive tariffs, and with the extended government shutdown continuing to cloud economic outlook, traders are simply not willing to maintain that high-risk stance from yesterday. We are looking ahead today to look at earnings and the Fed because this makes today a crucial test for the bulls. As we move from trade headlines to the core business of earnings, the unofficial start of the third quarter earnings season is already here. We have a string of major financial giants reporting before the bell. The first one is JP Morgan Chase. And then, of course, we have others, Johnson & Johnson reporting today, BlackRock reporting today. So investor focus will be on past performance, but investor performance will not just be on the past performance, but on what the CEOs say during their outlook for the rest of the year. And remember, there was this huge auto company which had borrowed money on the collateral of its accounts receivable. And the way I understand it, I don't fully understand it yet, but the way I understand it is the same collateral was used for borrowing from multiple lenders. And I think that company went bankrupt and $1 billion has vanished. Now, which are the institutions which have had exposure to that? I don't know. $1 billion is like a drop in the bucket. But there are those kind of things. We don't know how many other companies have been doing the same kind of activity and getting away with it. So please keep that in mind as we await the results from financial institutions. Finally, we'll also be tuning in to hear from Fed Chair Jerome Powell later this afternoon. After yesterday's Fed comment signaled caution on rate cuts, traders will be looking for any definitive signal about monetary policy as we navigate this uncertain economic and political environment. And we'll have all the action when the bell rings at 9:30 a.m. But right now, I'd like to take you to the TradingView platform. And unlike yesterday, I'm going to switch myself off and actually get into the TradingView platform. So here we go. And we learn, we live and we learn every day. And the live stream for amateur content creator like myself is always an adventure. So we embark on today's adventures, and I'm going into the futures. Let me take you to S&P 500 futures. We're going to do a quick check, go and look at the monitor to see that you're able to see everything. Yes, it looks very good. So good morning to Hot Dog, and good morning to Infif. He's around. So let's look at what we have out here in today's pre-market session. S&P 500 futures. As you can see, we dropped day before yesterday, and yesterday we picked up and we closed above this diagonal line of support. And I had mentioned that we have to confirm this support. So to confirm this support, we have to close above yesterday's closing. And I don't think we are doing that as of today, because we have given up all the gains and we are just on top of this diagonal line of support. So how will the day unfold? We don't know. We have support out here, which is going to be at 6,647, failing which we have another support at 6,618, and failing that we have another support, which is at 6,553.25. So these are the three supports for today. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, momentum is below average. So that's the backdrop in which we are starting off today. And this is basically because China has taken some kind of negative action on South Korean shipping companies which have American involvement. And that is sending a message that China is not only going to keep a tight control over rare earths, which are essential for US defense and also the EV industry, but it's also going to take a step further and start to look at American companies and tighten them. Like Micron is already under antitrust investigation in China. So people are looking at that, and people are looking at President Trump, and everything is in a flux. And if you look at what is exactly happening with the US government, nothing is clear. There is a whole lot of activities and things going on in all the spheres, like militarization of the cities, cases by the DOJ. Nothing seems normal. And there is no clear game plan or end result that we are looking at. Whenever the market goes down, Trump does something or his minions do something to pick it up again. So it's like you're keeping on giving an injection of glucose to a person who keeps on losing sugar. And as soon as he or she gets a shot of glucose, they stand up. And as soon as the glucose goes down, they go down. The market inherently doesn't have the strength. It's all this performative action through tweets and other things which are keeping it propped up. That's my feeling. I'd like to hear from you guys what you think about it. Please put it in the comment section. Now let us look at NASDAQ as well. Same story out here. This diagonal line of support is there, but we have given up a whole lot of gains from yesterday. And whatever we gave up the day before, when the 100% tariff was announced, we are still within the shadow of that concept. That candle is still overlapping everything that is happening subsequently. So we have to see how the day unfolds. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, momentum is just at average. Dollar index is up. It's gone above the support of 99.223. At the same time, gold is also up. Gold is continuing to move up. And we'll have to see what happens with gold, because gold is signaling that something is bad in the geopolitical sphere, something is bad in the US economy. Overall, gold is now performing the role of the support during risk. So gold is performing the store of value during a risky situation. And that's the reason why, even though dollar index is going up, we are finding that gold continues to go up. How far higher can gold go? We have already got a resistance that we have put here. And if we were to look at today's date, and I would say that today's resistance is going to be 4,887.11. We're not going to go there in one jump, but gradually we are moving in that direction. And we will look forward to see a pattern building up here so that we can confirm that not only is this diagonal line of support from the previous parallel channel going to perform the role of support, but also we'll have new patterns out here which will either be bullish or bearish, showing the future directions. So it's like doors. We open one door and then we see forward. If there is another door out there, we go there and open that door. So every day gives us unfolding steps through which this chart will tell us where we are going. So right now, I don't see anything negative out here. Everything is positive, except for the fact that we are very close to the RSI. Now I'm going to put the RSI further up. The RSI for gold can go all the way up to 86.83 before it turns around. So we got more room out there. Next, put call ratio. Well, it's I would say that it's slightly bullish, and it's very close to 0.7, which will be bullish, and 1 is kind of neutral. So I'd say put call ratio indicates a bullish tone out there. Now let's go on to our indices. That's our indicator, S&P 500. And now in S&P 500, we can see that our outer bound was 6,732. And yesterday, we closed somewhere around 6,657.12. If we open within this parallel context, then our resistance will continue to be 6,748.42, and our support will continue to be 6,550.08. And this parallel channel itself is a dynamic resistance and support. So with every passing day, the support is also going up and the resistance is also going up. However, you can see that the market context is bearish, MACD is bearish, and momentum is just above average. Now let us look at NASDAQ, same story out here. And I think for NASDAQ, we want to prove that the top end of this parallel is going to perform the role of a support. And that's what we have to do today. And we can do that by not only closing above this parallel channel, but also closing above where we closed yesterday, which would be around 24,750.25. So we have to close above that, and then we would have confirmed this diagonal line of support from the parallel channel. And that could give us the foundation to go up further. So for today, the support is going to be around 24,713.38, and the resistance is going to be 25,249.97. QQQ is telling us that we are going to open negative. It's down 1.05% as we speak. And it's still below this diagonal line of support, which is the center line for this parallel channel. And that happens to be today at 599.32. We are at 595.74. So the first resistance is 599.32. If we break above that, and if we close above 603.46, then we would have confirmed that the center line of this parallel channel will perform the role of a support. Otherwise, we are going to consider that to become a resistance, because we would not have closed above it. We already broke down below it, but we have not confirmed below it. So we are in a bearish to neutral kind of a stance today. We need few more candles to confirm whether we are going to be bearish or whether we are going to be bullish. So we'll have to bear up with that. And then let's go on and have a look at AI. In AI, we are looking at NVDA, which is down 1.60%. It still happens to be above 183.50, which is the support that we have out here, and which also performs the role of the neckline for the reverse head and shoulder, which gave us a target of around 203.24. So at this point of time, what I would say is that we have not confirmed the resistance of 184.04. At the same time, we have not confirmed the support of 183.68. We need to look at a little more. Now, we have David Best, our comet, who comes and goes. And David Best is saying more desperation, Oracle Cloud to deploy 50,000 AMD AI chips, signaling new NVIDIA competition. And then chips have become new way to leverage the money supply. So if Oracle is doing this, I think I would expect AMD stocks to go up today. We'll see it when we come to that. Let's go on to Meta. Meta is still negative. It's down 1.31% in pre-market trades, and it has got a good support at 705.76. It's right now at 706.35. If we break down below this, then we are on our track to 652.04. Google is down 1.49%. It has not been able to confirm back into the bullish pennant. So today, what we are is in a neutral stance. We don't know whether we are bullish or bearish. If we close below this diagonal line of resistance out here from the previous bullish pennant, we will still not be able to confirm that as a resistance. For that to be confirmed, we want to close below 236.71, and then we would confirm that this is the resistance. Now we have Amazon, which is down 1.22% in pre-market trades. We had a reverse head and shoulder pattern, which we canceled after we broke out of the neckline. Now we are back down again. So what I would do is I would consider this segment as a flagpole, and I would say that we have broken out from here, and therefore our new target is 207.74. This is the bear flag target. So let us see how it develops. Right now, everything is bearish for Amazon. Next, we are looking for Apple, and Apple is down 0.54%. It is trying to confirm that this diagonal line of resistance from before is now going to be a resistance. For that to happen, we have to close below 244.32, and we have not done that. So let us watch this space, but all the other indicators are bearish for Apple. Microsoft is down 0.67% in pre-market trades. It's below 514.91, which is where we were for the last 2 days, but we could not confirm it as a resistance because we did not close below 511.13. And today we are going to attempt to do that. And if that happens, then we would have confirmed this as a, this means 514.22 as a resistance. Right now, the support happens to be at 498.74. Tesla is down 2.28%. It's trying to get back into this diagonal, this channel of resistance, which was bearish, which was also performing the role of some kind of a flag pattern or a consolidation pattern. So we don't know where Tesla is going. I would just say that it's in a bearish channel, but it has not come back into this parallel. So what I would do is I'd wait for it to come back in here and confirm inside this, or confirm above this diagonal line on the top of this channel, neither of which is happening right now. So we're in a state of limbo, but market seems to be going towards neutral sentiment. MACD is still bearish, and momentum is just above average. Oracle is down 1.28%. That is this diagonal line of support that we want to confirm. And we closed yesterday above where we closed the day before. So we are kind of confirming this, I would say. And we want to see what the action is today. We will bounce off if we come to 291.71. So 291.71 is going to be the support. We also have a magnetic pull from the gap up that we had. So that needs to be filled. AMD is up 2.41% as anticipated. Oracle is also giving a leg up to AMD. And I think I'll also look at structural weakness out here. I think that NVDA is getting a rug pull from under its feet. If we just throw back to 8 months ago, NVIDIA was the only game in town. Intel looked so pathetic. AMD seemed like it has captured Intel's share on the PC, and also it has taken the gaming PC GPU, whereas NVIDIA was outside. And then we saw NVIDIA taking a share in the gaming PC also. And then we got the news that OpenAI is taking a share in AMD, and they had that incestuous relationship. And then now we had Intel coming into the picture with NVIDIA saying that they're going to do something with Intel. So Intel got a leg up. And then you have OpenAI a deal with AMD. And today we are having Oracle talking about getting AMD chips. So all of these things seems to make it feel like among the AI players, there is some kind of a realignment happens. So I'd look at further weakness for NVIDIA. And AMD seems to be looking a little bit stronger today with the new news. We have plenty of room on the RSI. We have gone up to 87.35 in the past before turning back. So I would say plenty of room on the RSI. Momentum is elevated. It's almost at the traditional overbought of 70%. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. So today, this morning with the Oracle news, we are up 3.08%. These are all the kind of things that keep the AI moving. And the AI is actually pulling the index up, but everything else is pretty weak overall. And Hot Dog is saying anyone looking for an entry for Alibaba should keep an eye on it this week. So Hot Dog will check it out also. Zaidi says AMD on the news. Yes, AMD is definitely on the news. SMCI is down 2.68%. Zaidi, what I would say is that don't buy anything because somebody says what it is. Investment is not a spectator sport. So my objective here as a retail investor is to teach everybody what I learned on technical analysis and allow you to take your own decision. Look at other people on YouTube who are doing technical analysis or fundamental analysis, read the newspapers, form your own opinion, because when you buy, it should be because of a reason. And when you sell, it should be because of a reason. You can make a profit if you bought it at the right price, or else the market may go up and you'll still not be able to make a profit because you bought it at the wrong price. So the market is a very dangerous place. Right now, we are at a very critical inflection point. If the market drops, it could drop severely and it could take a long time for it to get back up again. So I would never tell you to buy something or sell something. I would only give you the ideas that I have in my mind and what I am planning to do. So right now, I wouldn't touch AMD because everything is elevated. The geopolitical situation is also risky, and the whole market is based on sugar rush that is being given by intermittent stimuluses. When the stimulus is removed, the market starts coming down. And when the market starts coming down, like Trump and other people, they have all their assets tied to the stock market. So they do something that makes the market feel happy and the market comes back up again. So that's how I see it. You may have a different opinion, but never ask anybody whether you should buy a share or sell a share. That means you're not yet an investor. And if you're in that kind of a situation, it's better for you to go into mutual funds or with an investment advisor who will do the investments for you. Okay, so that's the way I will put it. And it's abundance of caution that you need in this market. So enough said about that. Let's go on to SMCI. Let me just give you the limits for SMCI today. I would see some kind of a support for SMCI at 52.88. And why would that be a support? Well, I'm thinking that in the past, the last 3 days in the recent past, we have had some kind of a stop out here at 52.82. And also when the drop happened, the drop also jumped back after piercing that spot at 52.82. So that's going to be our first level of support. It's not strong support. I would say it is intermediate support or minor support. The big support is going to be this diagonal line that we see out here. For today, it's going to be at 47.72. Next, let's look at Broadcom. Broadcom is down 2.13%. We have this diagonal line of support, which is going to give us a support today at 334.64. But can I be absolutely confident about it? No, we can't. Because yesterday we broke down below it and we closed below it. Then what should happen? This becomes a resistance and we have to confirm this resistance. To confirm the resistance, what should we do? We have to close below I think 325.01. Did we close below that? We did not. So what we did not do was we did not confirm this as a resistance. But is this confirmed as a support today? No, it's not confirmed as a support today because yesterday we broke down below it and then we came up. And what did we do here? We came down and we bounced back up. So what is the test for the support out here? The test for the support out here is that we have to close above this, and we also have got to close above the previous day's closing. And the previous day's closing was below here. So I would say that, yeah, we have confirmed this diagonal line as a support. So if we come anywhere close to this, I can confidently say that we are likely to bounce back up again. That is the probability. Highest probability is for it to bounce back up. So I would say for today, the support is 335.03. That's how I'm thinking. Palantir, it's down 1.73%. Palantir is within this parallel channel, and it had a cup and handle target, which I removed it because the target didn't materialize. We continued to consolidate out here, and we had a drop yesterday all the way down to 174.21, and we got pushed up. And day before yesterday, and yesterday also, we came all the way up to that 173.60, and then we got pushed up. So I would say that we got some kind of a support out here, somewhere around 173.40. And that would continue to be performing a minor line of support today. Pre-market, we are at 174.11. So 173.20 is going to be the minor line of support today. And then The next support is going to be at 166.33. This is a confirmed support because this parallel has been tested many times. So if we come down here, we are definitely going to bounce up. That's the probability, highest probability is out there. And in terms of resistance, I think we have a resistance at 189.77. And if you want to look at an even earlier resistance, then I would say on three or four occasions, 185.93 has been the resistance. So I would say immediate resistance would be 185.93. SMH is the culmination of everything in the semiconductor section. It's down 1.79%, and its resistance is going to be 336.85. And if we break out above that, then our next resistance is going to be 346.74. Our confirmed support is going to be 313.27, because that is the gap up out there, and that is the first support, 313.56. The second support is going to be 309.48. And market sentiment is still bullish, but MACD is bearish and momentum is above average. So I'm thinking that SMH will move in the direction which the overall semiconductor market moves. And right now it's on the influence of everything. The only positive out there is AMD. And AMD has a gap fill that needs to happen. It has a gap up that needs to be filled. And we don't have a definitive action out here. I'm thinking that it's forming some kind of a bullish pennant. And with a few more candles, we'll get a feeling of what that structure looks like. And if it's a bullish pennant, the probability of it breaking up is much higher than the probability of it breaking down. So if it breaks up, then we can always take the flagpole from here, put it from the breakout point, and then come up with a target. We are not yet in that position. So we don't know where SMH is going to go. Tempest AI is again another thing where I have been feeling very tempted to get into this trade for Tempest AI, because if you look at the semiconductor market, you're looking at the GPUs first, then you're looking at the data centers, and then you're looking at applications. So Tempest AI comes in that layer. So even if GPUs and other things got saturated, all the data centers needed are already made, Tempest AI is going to be the place where the value will be created. And Tempest AI is already creating value for the medical field. So I want to get into Tempest AI, but I'm looking for it to come to 90.19 and see it bounce from there. So my chance of being profitable with Tempest AI or having reduced my loss for the downside, the risk of downside, would be when it is closest to 90.31. I'm watching it and I would like to buy it at 90.31. Not completely, but in installments, so that I can dollar cost average if it goes down further, because it could go down further if the overall market goes down. How much? Nobody knows. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is going to be Genomics. In Genomics, we are looking at Prime. Prime has broken down this diagonal line of support that we had, and we have this bull flag, which was created. But if you look at the bull flag, going from here to here, I think we have fallen below the 50% mark. So it's no longer a bull flag. It's going to be termed as a potential bear channel. So when will the bear channel convert into something bullish? When it turns around. So I do not see any trend reversal yet. And this diagonal line of support from the past is now becoming a diagonal line of resistance. And our support is going to be at 4.58. So I think Prime is starting to look weak. Market sentiment is petering out. MACD is already bearish. Momentum has dropped. Still above average, but it is calming down. We have got earnings coming up on 31st of October. So that'll be a bit of earnings jitter as well. And if we get some positive news, that could be good. But I'm looking forward. If you see this as a shoulder and this as a head, the fear is always that, do you think we could form another shoulder out here? And if we did form the shoulder out there, then this could become the neckline. So one has to be careful with Prime at this point of time. Thanks, Zaidi. Thanks for your kind words. Remember, I'm a retail investor like yourself. I couldn't find other retail investors sharing their thoughts. So I'm doing that openly out here. So you also share your thoughts. All of us are equal in knowledge. So if you have any knowledge, any ideas, please feel free to share it. And we'll try to analyze that with the knowledge that we have. And I could be wrong sometimes, so please keep that in mind. Intelia, the next one is Intelia. Intelia is down 2.86%. We are still in a bull flag context. So it could come down further before it breaks out on the upside. With a bull flag or a bullish pennant, the probability of breaking out is much higher than breaking down. And we have a resistance out here at 27.08. Pre-market, we are down 2.86%. And this diagonal line of support is continuing to be a support. We had a bull flag out here. Let me just show it to you. Zaidi is here for the first time, so I just want to recap this for him. So this was our bull flag. So we took this bull flag from here, and this is where the bullish pennant broke up. So technically our target was out here at 22.47. So we kept moving up, and then we created a new bull flag. And this bull flag is now going to have a target, which is going to be somewhere around 26.29. So now this bull flag target has already been met, and we came down. And we tried to pierce past this resistance, and we came down. So what I'm looking forward to is this forming into some kind of a bullish pattern. If this becomes a bullish pennant or something, then what I would do is I would take this length from here to where the flag started, and I would put it at the breakout point, and I'll get the next target out there. Okay, so that's what I'm aiming for. So right now, I'm not throwing in the towel on Intel yet. I'll watch a few more candles. Caribou is down 3.79%, and we have already met our target, which was 2.78. And this seems to be a trend reversal flag. This was, I think most probably it was a topping tail, and we are starting to come down. Could we form a shoulder, head, and another shoulder? If that happens, we could drop down much more. So that's what I'm thinking is likely to happen with Caribou Biosciences. Beam Therapeutics is down 2.28%. We had a target of 29.12, and I think we are already back into a bearish context. And if this becomes a shoulder and this becomes a head, and we create another shoulder, and we are likely to come down. I'm not saying that will happen, but there's a probability of that happening. So we got to be careful out there. Altimmune is down 1.50%, but it's still traveling on this bull channel, which is very gradual, and it is comfortable channel. And we are waiting for more outcomes from Altimmune as their therapy goes along in the FDA cycle. So I'm still cautiously optimistic for Altimmune. Editas is down 2.39%. And I think this was a topping tail that we saw there, and we are starting to come down out here. In a way, if you look at it, like thinking of this to be bull flag. This is the flagpole, and this is the bull flag in formation. So we are already at around 50% with today's price action. If we fall below 50, even that bullish context will go away, and I would start considering this to be a topping tail, which is a bearish signal. So I would like to see what happens to today's candle. We are going to get support at 3.32. And I think this support is going to be something that we have to look at for today. And we'll see a few more candles, and we'll decide what's going to happen. Pre-market, Illumina is at 1.33 negative. So we have support today at 93.67, but pre-market, we are just at 93.77. So chances are that we might open below this. So I want to see if we break down below this support. And if we did, then wherever today's candle ends, I want to see whether tomorrow's candle is able to close below that. If that happens, then I think this diagonal line of support will be confirmed as a resistance. So we want to watch a few more days of candles, but everything out here, MACD, momentum, market sentiment, everything is bearish. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 1.65%. It will still get support at 65.11. But I'm going to be watching if we have a head and shoulder pattern forming. If this could be a shoulder, this could be a head, and another shoulder coming up. I don't know. The reverse head and shoulder pattern gave us a target of 73.25 that has already been achieved. Further patterns are now emerging. They're definitely not a bull flag or a bullish pennant. So I would say that the only positives that we see here is the decreasingly bullish market sentiment, which is tending towards neutral. MACD is already diminishing, and we are having a momentum which is also down. And Zaidi is saying, I also believe it's a bearish market today. Yes, it's looking bearish, but just a truth social from Trump can change everything. Just a press release from China can change everything. Or any OpenAI may come out and say they are doing a deal with somebody, and that somebody might turn around and say that they're given warrants. All those things have happened in the past. I don't know. It could also happen. We had Broadcom. Then we could have somebody else also, SMCI, coming in and saying they have a deal with OpenAI. I don't know. And everything is crazy. But today, right now, pre-market, it's looking bearish. But be prepared for anything to change like Quicksilver, okay? Allogene is down 1.57%. We have resistance at 1.35. And we confirmed, we have not yet confirmed this resistance, but we are not able to break out. If we go below 1.23, I'll say that we have confirmed the resistance. Grail is down 3.56%. Grail is among the strongest stocks we have seen. It is forming a bullish pennant out here, in my opinion. We had a bull flag and we came down, we formed a bullish pennant. I would like to see a few more candles before I decide that Grail is going to be bearish. So I'm still a little bit bullish on Grail, but we have to remember we have this candle out here, which is more or less looking like a doji candle, but the upper wick is much longer than the lower wick. I wouldn't strictly call it a topping tail, but I would give it a little bit of a bearish connotation until I see a breakout happening out here. PACB is down 4.32%. Support will be today somewhere around 1.44. ARCG is down 1.59%. I don't think we are in a bullish context anymore. We had a previous target out here, which was up to 30.40. So I'd like to watch a few more candles form out here. I wonder, where does OpenAI get all that money from? They are making multiple deals. I think a lot of private investment is there in OpenAI. A lot of private investors are in there. And also now the GPU companies themselves are making investment in OpenAI. So it's kind of circular investment. So I did a video earlier talking about circular investment, all the characteristics of a bubble. So that's what I'm thinking. Vertex is down 0.58%. And you're looking at a resistance of 413.73 today. And we look at Ginkgo Bioworks, it's down 2.66%. It's trending to come downwards. The bull flag, I think, is already violated today because we have fallen more than 50%. And this huge candle that you see here with a large wick, this was the topping tail and we have never recovered from it. So we are going down. Now let's look at Precision, which is another company we are following very closely. It continues to have a support at 3.06. It's up 0.31 today. And we had some positive news out here from yesterday for Papaziemos, and that positive data is allowing it to stay above the support out here. This support has worked out very well. We have bounced off it 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the recent past, and our resistance now happens to be 3.65. Eli Lilly is within a regression channel that we draw, and we have never been able to break out of the regression channel for quite a while. So we are continuing to be in that context of the regression channel. We got pushed out from the top, and that means we are moving towards this center line out here of 741.74. And even though we have been pushed down, I am still looking at this as a bullish pennant because our flagpole is pretty long. So let us see what happens. We'll have to see a few more candles. The market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish, but momentum is dropping. Next, I want to go and look at Ultragenics. Ultragenics is down 1.59%. It has this cup and handle pattern, which gives us a target of 34.99. I'm still not writing off the target. I would still look at 34.99 as a potential target for Ultragenics. And Rocket Mortgage for INF. INF is always looking at this. Sorry, it's Rocket Companies, not Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Company is still bearish. It's consolidating out here, but I would just look at it as a bear flag, which means that the probability of it breaking down is much higher than going up. So I would say that we are still in a bearish context. Next, let us go ahead and look at our currencies. In currencies, I'm looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still looking bearish to me. We are broken out of the parallel channel. And our support today is going to be 109,160. So we are coming down. We also have the prospect of forming a a head and shoulder pattern. This is the shoulder, this is the head. Are we in the process of forming the next shoulder? And if we did, then this line will become the neckline. Let me just fine tune this. And this neckline, when triggered, is going to give us a huge fall ahead. So be very cautious with crypto. Same could be said for Ethereum. For today, the support is at 3,679.72. Let me make this line a little thicker for you guys so that you can see it on your smaller equipment. Next, we have XRP USD, which is also not doing very well. And we seem to be in a bearish context out here because this will look like a bear flag to me, and bear flags always break down on the downside. The probability of them breaking down is higher than them going up. And we have a support at 2.14. That's our support for today. And in the past, when the market dropped, we had dropped drastically all the way to 1.77.65, only to be pushed up. So from that perspective, I will say that the buyers told the sellers, no, we are not going to fall that much. We are confident that XRP is worth much more. So that this long week out here gives me confidence that there is a good deal of support somewhere around 2.376. So I think that's our intermediate support out there. So friends, that brings me to an end of this session altogether. But before I close, I want to go into futures. I want to look at a company out here called Geely. Do I have that? Billy is out here. And I had invested in Billy. I took some profits already, and it is going down. And I'm thinking that Billy has become bearish at this point of time. I had a target for it of around 31.99. That's why I put my money into it. And I was of the belief that we are forming a bull flag or a bullish pennant out here. But the actions in the last 3 days has conclusively proven to me that that's not the case. So I would look at selling Billy today. But I'm going to give it a pause. I'm hoping that if something comes out from China or from Trump, it could change the dynamic out here. That's another stock I want to show you, which I bought based on my analysis, in which I have taken profits already, 50% profit. And that company is MP. I had spoken about the reverse head and shoulder pattern and how it was going to give a profit of 86.63. So I bought it and I sold 50 of it. I bought 100, I sold 50, I took the profit. The remaining 50 still remains with me. And today it has gone up further. It's up another 6.88%. Am I going to sell it? No, I'm not. Am I going to buy more? No, I'm not. I'm watching for patterns to come up here. Those patterns will tell me whether it's a bullish flag or a bullish pennant or a bearish pattern. Once the pattern comes up, then I can project and I can decide to take profits and then wind down this position or start dollar cost averaging and taking more shares so that I can benefit further. So that's where I am with MP. I have 50 shares remaining. So I think I also made a video on MP talking about this. Sometimes I'm able to say, and it happens, and sometimes I say something would happen, it doesn't. Billy was an example of when it didn't happen, and MP is an example of when it happened. When it happens, I feel good, and all the concepts get firmed up. When it doesn't happen, I learn something new that tells me whether I came in a bit too early or held on to a stock for too long. So that's what I would say. And I think that brings me to an end of this session. So friends, if you have any stock that you want me to look at, or if you want to give any trade ideas that you have to the rest of the community, please put it in the chat section or the comment section, and others can benefit from it, just like David Best used to come in and talk about the ideas that he has got. So watch Oracle today. Oracle is likely to make moves because of the investments that they have announced. AMD is the most likely beneficiary. So all these good news can prop it up a little bit, but then eventually it's got to come down. So whenever any stock moves up, then you can short it in order to get some gains. But then you have to be very careful when you go into shorts and longs and all. You have to watch the market very carefully. Okay. Then Zaidi says looking at AMD dip buy. That's one way of looking at it. And the way of looking at it is that AMD has gone up today. Let's look at the next resistance. And when we come close to that resistance, I'm going to short it. Just before I go, let me just show you the AMD chart and say what and explain what I'm thinking and try to see if I can show you some levels out there. Of course, this is not financial advice, guys. This is me as a retail investor looking at shorting. So I'm going to put a line out here, which is going to be my line of resistance. This is my line of resistance out here. So as the market jumps, we are up 220. So this orange line out here, I don't know if you can see it. The orange line is the line of where we are today. So in pre-market. So in pre-market, we are exactly where we opened yesterday. So it's neither bullish nor bearish. So yesterday we opened here. Sorry, it's where we opened yesterday. Yesterday we opened here. We went up, we came back down, we formed this week, and then we went down, we formed a lower week, and then we came back up and we closed here. We closed at 216.42. This morning we have opened exactly where we opened yesterday. This is where we are in the pre-market session. And if we open out here, then it's neutral. It's not bullish, it's neutral. But if we open above that, still I would not consider it bullish. If we open above the wick, 224.31, then I would consider that it was a bullish open. What does that do for me? Not much. But the news that Oracle is going to buy AMD chips, that's a positive news. How high can it go? It can go all the way up to 237.13. So I'll be watching this as a resistance. If I come close to this, right, that's when I would buy a small tranche of shorts for AMD to start going down. So when it goes down, then I would look at what could be the immediate support. Then the immediate support in my mind, looking at the way the chart is right now, would be 226.72. As I come close to that, I would entertain thoughts of selling it and booking profits, selling the shorts and booking profits. If I want to buy AMD, would I buy on dips? That's one way to do it, assuming that AMD is going to perennially keep on going up. How high can AMD go? Well, right now I can say that 237.39 is a resistance. Why do I say that it's a resistance? Because in the past, we have not been able to break through above that. Though the probability of us breaking above that is still there, but the chances of coming back down is higher than breaking it and going up. And even if we broke and went up, we have to confirm that as a support. So have we done any of those things? No. Do we have a guarantee that we'll do that? No. So buying the dips, I want to be confident that I'm very close to a support so that I can buy the dip. So if I'm close to the support, then the probability of me going up is higher than the probability of me dropping down. And how strong is the support? That's also the next question, right? So those are the considerations that you need to have, and then you would go. The currency I'm using is I have got Canadian dollars. So I have got half of my portfolio in Canadian dollars. The other half is in US dollars. It's on the US side. And I'm progressively thinking of moving my US dollars into Canadian side. And I buy US stocks in the Canadian side as CDRs. And I buy direct US stocks in the US side, and I buy US ETFs and Canadian ETFs. So that's my portfolio right now. US could be different. You could be living in a different country. So you'll have to consider currency risk as well. So as they say, investing in the stock market is not a spectator sport. The more you learn, the more you understand that there are so many other things that you don't know. So that's where I would like to leave it today. So consider all those things when you're thinking of dip buying. I'm not saying don't buy the dip. I'm not saying sell it right now. I'm saying that start learning and use your own experiences. Keep a diary and write it down. Why you thought you wanted to buy the dip. What were the factors that made you convinced that you should buy the dip? And if you bought the dip and you succeeded, next time when you're thinking of buying the dip, think of all those factors and see if are they present in the new stock that you want to buy the dip. So that's how we learn. On the other hand, if you bought the dip and it failed, then re-examine the reasons why you bought the dip and why it failed. So that's how we learn. If we don't do that, then we just have a feeling and we are always operating on gut feeling, and then we don't become a good trader. I'm trying to become a good trader. I'm trying to validate all my hypotheses on a daily basis. When I'm not confident, I don't buy. When I'm super confident, I buy. MP, I was super confident, I bought. Billy, I was super confident, I bought. MP, I succeeded. Billy, I failed. So I'm going to learn from Billy and find out why I failed. And I'll use that as another checkpoint so that I can be super confident when I do my next trade. Okay, guys, I have to go to have breakfast. Thanks, Zaidi, for joining us. Thanks, Hot Dog, for joining us, and all the others. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.